Hello everybody, this is going to be something a little bit different. Instead of me playing DVD, kind of wanted to talk about a killer that a lot of people hate, going against. Some people just find it fun to play them because it's an easy win, but I'm more wanting to talk about what I would hope for this killer. And as you can see right here, it is about the Ghoul. I don't know what behavior is doing. I don't know what their thought process behind the Ghoul. I know they got a list of things going on between bug fixes, which I've been stumbling and seeing others stumble across horrific bugs. Maybe those are going to be fixed soon. I am not sure. But going back to the topic is this killer needs a lot of love. I don't think people in the DVD community can voice any more than they already are about how this killer is, and he needs to be adjusted. There needs to be changes and all that. Some of the things I want to bring up that I hope they do, or tweak, do something with, comes to this character, or just something. I would love to see, with him being an anime killer, get that love and attention, they fix it, and then possibly persuade there even be other anime killers that come into this game. But so the first topic at hand is going to be to go over the Kagane leap, one of his parts of his main power, to go over the slide aspect of when you first grab onto some kind of a vertical fixture, whether it's a wall, a locker, whatever it is that you grab onto. In it, it gives you the ability to slide. Of course, that's as long as you're holding forward.
So I'm stopping myself here from continuing to talk because what I was about to say is actually wrong information. With the Ghoul, the first Kagane leap, that's not in enrage mode, you slide. The second one is a halt, whether you're holding W or just forward in general. But my idea still stands, where I would say his slide that follows through should be for all leaps, and depending on how far away he is from said object that he is making contact and leaping, should judge how far or the strength of the slide is on the character.
Is to take the idea or the movement that is similar to the blight. It's not an option. Depending on what you grab, whether it's a wall, a locker, bale of hay, whatever it is, that's going to throw you. Whether it's you're going past the person, whatever. Then I think what they do need to think about is, instead of they got to get rid of this, you can hit the cancellation in the middle of the leap and then immediately start to swing. I would probably say the easiest way to adjust this is, once again, make him like the blight. When you leap, there will be a time in the slide, whether you're going straight or you give him the ability to turn at a certain degree, they can swing. Because now that's going to give you gotta pick and choose. You can't just constantly leap and leap and leap. You gotta be smart with it. As well as this, it could possibly help with the grabbing and how inconsistent that is. That's a whole other topic about how bad that needs to be adjusted. But because it's the same thing with Wesker, and it's the same thing with Blight. If they dash past the survivor, you could dash or rush the other direction to try to make up for your mistake. But really, it ain't gonna work out that well. And it's, they have some add-ons in here that, you could run the Onteku apron that decreases the slide. they could fix this, that could decrease the turn or increase the turn, whatever it is. I don't care. I think that's the best option to do with it. You get the slide, you can do a turn, but technically for the character, once their feet touches the ground, you could take a swing. You don't have to worry about this BS cancellation when you when you shouldn't be canceling the power. Next topic is going to be the problem with I think that used to be called the kidnapping tech, when he grabs people and puts the Kagane mark on them, puts them into deep wounds. I think that you got to get rid of deep wound. No more. I truly believe that going from healthy to deep wound is such an annoying ability. I was honestly hoping that Legion would be the only one with that ability, and it would die with the Legion. Because of how it is, I think if anything, you put them in an injured state, but you put them in hemorrhage or mangled, one of them. It fits it better. There's no reason why you need to be put in a constant deep wound with this killer. And I've watched the anime, and I get the whole point of why somebody's like, yeah, put him in deep wound. No, F that idea. Injured, but you choose hemorrhage or mangled, or both. I don't, at this point, I know they're not going to listen to me, but that's my idea. It's one of those states. And you can leave the mark because it triggers enrage, whatever. If that's all it does, that's all it does. The following of the topic 2, you could call it like 2.1, something like that, is being in the enraged mode. Now, going into the enraged mode, you can vault or Kagane leap 3 times. And as nice as it is to have that ability, it's also annoying on the survivor side, and I'm not, off the top of my head, I am not sure how long he's actually in that mode, but I would think what would be the best way to tweak him is breaking a pallet or vaulting uses some of that meter, whether it's in the game, whether it's 5 seconds, 10 seconds, or each of them are different. If you vault, it knocks off 5 seconds. If you break a pallet, it's 10 seconds. Because once again, it's going to force you to think about how you're going to behave with this killer. All the killers have to have that function. How am I going to play this? How am I going to do it? You can't just automatically be like holding W or holding forward and just basically hitting 2 buttons over and over again and just constantly getting 100% success. That can't be the way that we have this. So you break off a pallet, it knocks time off. You vault, it knocks time off. Could that cause still some more problems? It could, because then it's still going to push the killer to try to do the leaping, and it could still try to push them to get, to force the Kagane leaps. But if the adjustments in the beginning aren't as bad, it could be okay. Once again, it all comes down to who's behind the killer, who's driving that killer, basically. And then the last topic I really had, it was fixing the cancellation feature, where I think it's really dumb that you can just leap, and then once you launch leap, you can pop cancellation, and by the time you're squared up on the survivor, you can hit. If all the changes that I talked about never came into it, that needs to be fixed. I don't think you should be able to cancel that until the Ghoul or Kaneki is on the ground and he's no longer sliding. Then that should be the only time that you should be able to cancel. the fact that it's that abusive, and he's been out for, when did he come out? I'm so bad with my time. He's been out for a few months now at this point, and there's no adjustments except for he doesn't stop survivors in their track when he grabs them, is crazy to me. And I would, once again, I would love to see him be a killer that can be fun for both sides. The anime was good to watch. I would love to see him in this game be fun to play as for both sides, because you could probably do some really incredible plays if it was the sliding, it did have the turn rate, things like that. I think that could be really fun and really awesome to do. I would love to hear what others have thought about for him, because like I said, I would just love to see the Ghoul be a fun killer to play, and a fun killer to go against as well. So thank you, everybody, and I'll see you in the next episode.